Hey everybody out there, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. So sorry guys that this is very late. This is actually Wednesday. We're recording this on Wednesday when we ordered the books that are coming out next week. And this should have been up a couple of days ago, but we've been so backed up. First of all, these books came to us on Saturday, and we had a bunch of other videos we had to do. Guys, the rundown, the recaps should be coming up very soon. I know I was very late with last month's. I'm glad this month is the last one. June's is the last recaps, and then everything's going back to the indie reviews. So you won't have to worry about late recaps. But anyway, I don't want to waste too much time talking about it, but look forward to all the videos I owe you guys. Plus, it's a podcast. It'll probably be coming out the same time it did last week, this week. And then next week, everything should be back to normal. Brant will be back probably by next week also, so that's a really good thing. And Hall of Toys should be back as well really soon.
Yep.
So, the books in this video were released from DC Comics on the first week of July, July 2nd, 2014. I did not get the Batman Superman issue again because I was told it was going to be by Jay Lee, but I just found out a couple of days ago that it's not by Jay Lee. So I ordered the book. It'll be here not for the next episode, but for the episode after that. So I will be reviewing Batman Superman. I got the bombshell cover. I will spoil that. So I will be doing Batman Superman as soon as I get it. I'm just going to keep buying the book from now on until I actually see Jay Lee's art in it, and then I'll probably end up putting it down for a bit. And again, it's no insult to Jay Lee. It's just I don't feel his artwork fits in a Superman, Batman, superhero book. And ironically, we're starting with Superman this week. Action Comics issue 33. This whole doomed story arc, it's really... Now I understand why Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. started on Superman before this event ended. This event is just horrid. Supergirl's in this. She's still possessed, or she's still a Red Lantern. And she's she's been out of character since the New 52 started. By the way, this is the 75th anniversary for Batman. That's basically the only good thing with this book. But Supergirl is way out of character in this book. I don't like her. And she's kind of encouraging Superman to embrace the anger and everything like that. And she's kind of making it worse.
A lot worse.
She actually brings him to this group of people. I forgot who they were called already. They're not important even. The Char, who are attacking this world, and she basically sets Superman loose on them. And slowly but surely, here's a nice little splash page for you. Slowly but surely, Superman ends up giving in to the Doomsday virus, and he snaps. He becomes more of the monster. Goes back to Earth. Lana figures out that Lois is connected to what's going on in space. Brainiac. And, oh boy, look, it's the Cyborg Superman, finally in a book that isn't Supergirl. And that's how the book ends. And then, for those of you that get any DC book this week, there is Channel 52, which explains the 4 stages of Superman transforming into Doomsday.
Is that necessary?
And it tells you each stage what it means. Denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance.
Yeah, it's not like that wasn't necessary.
I honestly, if I was not a Superman fan and picking up everything that's Superman, I probably would have dropped all the Superman books, at least until after Doom, because this story arc is just not doing it for me. If you guys want a good Superman New 52 story, I would definitely recommend the Superman title with Jeff Johns and John Romita Jr. If you want a really good title before it ends, Adventures of Superman. This story should not have happened. It's just completely cockeying all over the Doomsday mythos or what have you. Hey, look, I haven't seen this book in forever. Superman Unchained issue 7. And when I opened this book, it took me a little while to remember what the hell was going on in this book. For those of you that are familiar, Jim Lee takes a very long time at times to put books out because it takes him a while to draw them. And now he's the editor, one of the editors of DC Comics, so it's taking even longer. Superman Unchained was supposed to be over last year, before Batman 75th. We are now in Batman 75th, heading towards San Diego and going into New York Comic Con. I believe this story is only supposed to be 8 or 9 issues. So either the next issue or the issue after that is the last. I know I saw it in the solicits already. I just cannot remember if it was 8 or 9.
Does it say to be concluded? Or?
No, it doesn't say to be concluded. It just gives you the Superman S.
Oh, well, that's why.
So finally, after a couple of pages of reading, I remembered that, well, it wasn't that hard to remember. I mean, I remember how the last book ended, but Sam Lane's outside the Fortress of Solitude threatening Superman, give him the Earth Crystal, or they're going to bash down his door. Lois wants to help Superman. Superman wants to protect Lois. And then he actually tells her, the reason I have you here is to show you that I'm not here, you know, I'm doing what I have to do. And Lois at first doesn't want to listen to Superman. She still wants to go with him. Wrath is fighting Batman in the Batcave. Wonder Woman shows up at some point to assist Batman. Really nice artwork. I will say Jim Lee's artwork is great, though. That is one thing I will say. So Superman armors up and goes out to fight Sam Lane.
Oh.
And the rest of the book is a bunch of action. There is dialogue, but it's Superman versus Sam Lane and his army. Batman and Wonder Woman versus Wrath. Or Wrath. However you want to... I forgot how he even called his name at this point. Then Lois finally with the Earth Crystal, or the Sunstone, or whatever it was, she accesses it, and right before Superman's killed in this book, because they drop like these atomic kryptonite bombs on him, Lois destroys them. And she tells Superman he was right. Superman's like, I have to detach you from the Sun Crystal, but first I need to find Wraith. And he goes to Sam Lane and says, where the hell's Wraith? However, Batman sends out the super signaling for Superman, and basically I think Superman knows exactly where Wraith is. That is a very nice final page. So next issue is going to be all about Superman versus Wraith, whatever you want to call him. And this was a very high action-packed book. I loved it. I wish it was on time. And it's too bad that this isn't an ongoing series. I mean, when they originally solicited, don't ask question yet. When they originally solicited this was supposed to be a new ongoing, but I guess they figured once Jay Lee left the book, and Jay Lee and Scott Snyder left the book, because Jim Lee, not Jay Lee. Once Jim Lee and Scott Snyder left the book, it kind of would tank. And that's what everybody's afraid of now with Superman Wonder Woman with Tony S. Daniel.
Yeah, that was... wow.
Now, what's your question?
Did Superman face Wrath before in the pre-New 52?
Yeah, they fought a little bit. Oh, pre-New 52, there was no Wrath.
There was no Wrath.
No.
Because that name is sort of, you know... I don't know. I'm thinking maybe someone else, but... Alright, so first time for everything in the New 52.
Green Lantern issue 33, another Batman 75th. I think I only opted out of about 2 or 3 75th anniversary Batman books, and Batwoman I don't get. So, in Green Lantern, Hal Jordan takes the fight to the Durlands, and that's what this book is basically. He sets out a plan, he puts it into motion, he traps the Durlands behind this gigantic shield of Green Lantern energy and tries to force them back. And then what happens is the Durlands are starting to win, and then it turns out the oh wow.
Outer Climax?
No, it's the Outer Climax, but I can't remember the name of them.
They don't even have an index.
They don't, that's what I hate.
Or you can say the members of them.
Yeah, well, whoever they were, whatever the names were, they attack from behind, and all of a sudden the Durlands are losing. And they actually do lose in the end. And whatever Durland survives, most of them do, or a couple of them do at least, they go and get put into the science cells, of course, to be tried by the Green Lantern Corps. And then just when everything seems to have been, worked, that Hal Jordan finally won the war, it's over and now things are going to get better, John Stewart reaches out with a a brief message saying, we were wrong, it's not over, and then he gets cut off. And it says, it all ends in heart-wrenching fashion in the next week's Green Lantern Corps 33, which that I also got, the Batman 75th Anniversary cover for. Wow, this was a good issue. Was it spectacular? No, but it was good. I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the end of this is. However, just like Batman Zero Year, I want this to end because it's been going on since Jeff Johns left Green Lantern. I would like to see, you know, another story arc now. We've had this for a while. We've chaptered it off. I think now is time to move away from the Durlands and start on something new, like somehow finding a way for Hal Jordan to get back to Earth. Next is your book, and it's green also.
Book of the week, Green Arrow, issue number 33. And in this book, oh man, lots of twists and turns, and the news I heard of the Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino going out. Hopefully, when the new people come in, it'll be good, you know, better probably, but, you know, because this is, you know, really great. So this issue, it was really about, like, Oliver Queen and, you know, Diggle, like, how they were, you know, it just goes back, like, when, Diggle's trying to snap Ollie about being drunk, like on Smallville, when he was trying to look at himself and everything. So, because he was a drunk, and you know the story. So in Seattle, we have Amico helping Green Arrow fight off against Richard Dragon's teams of Killamore and the rest of them. And then it just keeps going back and forth. Like also 4 years ago, where they said that, you know, Green Arrow has been doing, you know, all this stuff, and Oliver Queen hasn't been at the Industries, and you could definitely check out the book. I'll give you this artwork right here. And Green Arrow and Amico, like, they work really, you know, great together, but when Green Arrow sees Amico getting her and everything, he beats him up brutally. I mean, he just got Brick really good. And they're still fighting off against them, where they have the same thing with the backstory of Green Arrow and Diggle. So we go to where Count Vertigo and Richard Dragon have Diggle at the window, whereas Henry, Piff, and Naomi are watching over Amico with Topman there, who is about to shoot them. And here's a spoiler at the end. Diggle goes out the window, so will Green Arrow save him, and Henry Piff takes the bullet for Naomi, which, ironically, like, Jax didn't do that, because Jax was the one that got killed then, but Henry Piff taking the bullet for Naomi was a really big sacrifice, so lots of twists and turns are going to be in the next issue of, you know, what's going to happen. I mean, Diggle... I mean, I know Green Arrow's going to save him somehow, but for Henry Piff, who knows if he's going to be alive after a gunshot to the chest. Really great book of the week. Highly recommend you check it out.
Now, the only Superman book this week that I can't say anything bad about is Earth 2, issue 25. We get a little bit of a backstory with Val. We find out that his parents were arrested on Krypton, and Jor-El and Laura took him in and raised him for a time. And he, Cal, Kara, and a fourth person left Krypton. And I think they did this on purpose. Now, there are so many theories being thrown around about Superman right now, that he's possessed because of Apocalypse. Here's some artwork of Val in his Superman suit. He wants to honor the family that took him in.
I like the costume.
I like it too. He wants to honor the family that took him in and took care of him while his family was in jail. But the way they said... They sent me, their own child, his cousin, and ... another. That another is somehow going to show up at some point, if it's not the Superman we're seeing now, which I think is quite the possibility, because they did show Superman dying in Earth 2, issue 1.
Right.
So anyway, Green Lantern, Flash, and Alan Scott Flash and Hawkgirl are fighting a bunch of parademons, and I can't even pronounce this woman's name.
Oh, that's a big splash page there.
That was an awesome splash page. This is a splash page. There's some really, really nice artwork in this book. I love the artwork. Anyway, oh god, come on, give me her name. Beguiler?
Yeah, I think so.
Beguiler. Anyway, Flash takes Beguiler and he runs at Mach speed, and she basically gets lost in, believe this or not, infinity.
There's a
I
way.
thought that was awesome. So back at Paradise Island, though, they find out that Superman's on the Kemp farm, and Beguiler's now gone. So they're heading back to Paradise Island, and that's where they find out that Superman's on the farm. Lois tries to get something out of Martha, who's petrified of her son, obviously, because she says, "Don't make trouble. He can hear us. Just shh." Pa Ken, however, is starting to get fed up with the whole situation, and actually at the dinner table, he gets to the point where he's like, you know what, screw Darkseid. And this is the only reason why I don't think this can be Superman even possessed.
No.
Spoiler here if you didn't read this already, but we see the death of Jonathan Kent, Earth 2. And all that's left is Martha Kent. And Lois is like, you're not Clark, you can't be him, there's no way. And he's like, don't say that, I love you. And then they reach out to, Bedlam reaches out to Clark, or Superman I'll call him for now, because we don't know if he's Clark, and says that they're ready, the gateway's ready, and they need him. So he goes off into space, opens up this gigantic boom tube. I almost said boob tube.
I know.
And basically they want to suck Earth into the universe where Apocalypse is. And Dr. Fate walks over to Val, Superman, and says, World's End, puts the helmet on Val's head, and Val sees something. We don't know what it is. He's like, he understands, I won't kill him, but I'll fix what he's broken. So Val fixes the mask, the helmet for Dr. Fate, and Khaled is now healed, but now his brain has to rely, he needs to, his mind now has to heal from being fixed, because Superman screwed him up. When he had the helmet on, he cracked it.
Right.
So Val's like, I know what I have to do now, I have to fix something, and I need to go to space, because Green Lantern's in space holding the Earth back from going through the boom tube.
Oh.
Superman shows up to try to stop Green Lantern, however, so does Val.
What a cliffhanger.
And it says, next issue, the Kryptonian death of a Superman.
Oh, that was a huge cliffhanger right there.
I don't think either one of them is going to die right away. I think that's a real false advertisement. But this is a spectacular book this week.
Absolutely.
If you're not reading Earth 2, they're going to be ending it soon. And World's End is going to be their big event. It's going to be a weekly event for about 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months. And it's going to be worth every penny. I can tell already, but it's going to be huge. And they're teasing in Future's End that there's a war that's going to go on between Earth 1 and Earth 2. That's going to be really interesting as well to see if that actually happens or if they just fix the DC universe and we never see the war. But anyway, go ahead.
Joining us in the Fam Stranger issue number 21. The battle for Zor-El, who basically has passed away, but how can they help him? So it goes back to, you know, we see Chris again after the Forever Evil Blight incident. We haven't seen him in a while. Artwork is really drawn nicely. And he's just saying how he can help the Sin Eater because of what we saw in the last issue. So you could check out more in the comic book. So he goes to New York City where he finds out the death of Zor-El, where Dr. 13 and Zor-El's angels have gathered around him. And he never expected to see all of this. So they have a ceremony for him, which was really something else. But there is a thing where... you know, there is a way to help Zor-El come back to life and everything. And one of them, you know, Fam Stranger said, like, no, this was Zor-El's choice, not mine, and he didn't ask for this. So he's going to find someone else to do the task. So Dr. 13, he does it, but then he doesn't know what he's getting himself into because he said, you know, I died once, and I might as well, you know, fight for him and everything, and he just gets beaten up badly by these demons, and Fam Stranger comes in to save him, and he says, I'm sorry I abandoned you, but upon our friendships, I'll never do it again. So, basically, Fam Strange is going to be facing someone from above, and who's that? Well, you're going to have to read the issue to find out because, oh god, that's all I'm going to say. Really good stuff. It's building up to the point, you know, and I did hear that the comic book of Trinities of Sin, where it's going to have Fam Stranger, Pandora, and The Question in one comic.
Yes,
which
October.
Which I can't wait for, but even though they're canceling it, I just can't wait to see three of them work together like they did in Blight minus Constantine.
The weekly series begin here, Future's End, New 52 Future's End, issue number 9, where we have a lot of stuff going on, but still, it feels like progression is very slow. Lois Lane follows the coordinates. There's nothing there. Actually, yes, there is. It's the Cadmus Island. And we go right to the Grifter, Deathstroke, and the little girl whose name 59 or 50, whatever her name is, are. And they finally reveal the secrets of the Cadmus Lab. And once Grifter sees this, the only way out is to be killed. And this is a humongous piece of the story, I feel, that is going to be very important to Future's End. Basically, Cadmus is a prison for all the superheroes from Earth 2. We got Power Girl in the background, the Wonder Woman of Earth 2, I said Power Girl, Hawk Girl, Mr. Miracle, Dr. Fate, everyone.
Shouldn't this be for villains, not for superheroes?
And also Aquawoman is there.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So, then we have, I forgot her name, Madison, who's talking with her father. She wants more information about the Teen Titans because now she doesn't trust Tim anymore. She wants to know the truth. She wants to know if they really died or if one of them survived. Then enters Rampage, who's there to free one of the inmates, Ethan Boyer. And we don't know why yet. All we know is Superman comes in to try to stop her. She throws somebody out a window or out the roof. Superman saves her, but in saving her, Rampage and Ethan Boyle are now gone. So, what do they want Ethan Boyle for? We'll find out later. Mr. Terrific is doing some scans on the robot from the future. Terry goes to the people who are planning to rob Terrific and basically wants to make them his team. He wants to break in with them to get the robot back. And then we get a little bit more. Hawkman, spoiler alert, is still alive thanks to the 9th metal in his body. He's able to come back, but he's missing an arm now, and he's not too happy. And then he finds out about what happens to Stormwatch, and he's even more upset. And then the last page, I'm leaving for you guys to read the book yourself and find out about. But this was definitely the weaker of the two weeklies this week. I feel like very little progression happened in this book. It's more of a setup.
Yeah.
And there are so many things going on in Future's End. It's really hard, you know, because they left out Firestorm this week. They left out a couple of pieces that they've had already this week. But at least we got Batman Beyond back.
And again, that's on top.
This is on top, so it's going good. Batman Eternal issue 13. Jim Gordon is now face-to-face with his son. He finds out his son was alive this entire time. And his son thinks that he did it on purpose. He doesn't believe that his father accidentally did it. He thinks his father finally cracked and saw that the entire Gotham City is against him, and he finally did something. Lieutenant Bard sets his plan into motion. Vicky Vale puts her reputation on the line at the Gotham Gazette and is willing to go out. You know, she wants to go out with Lieutenant Bard on this sting. Basically, they're going after Batman. That's what the cover is. And then we have Stephanie Brown still trying to reach out to somebody at the Gotham Gazette to show that Cluemaster, something's going on in the background with Cluemaster. Of course, they don't believe her. They ignore her. One of her friends gets blown up. Read the book to find out why. But basically, James Gordon Jr. sets up for the following day there to be a way for the father to leave. He tells him, where was it? The door to your cell is going to be open at 2:46 a.m. tomorrow. You walk down the corridor to your right and find the exit door open. Basically, he's giving his father a way out, a way to escape Blackgate. We get a couple of pages with Batman. So Bard now, Lieutenant Bard follows Batman to this warehouse. We don't know who's it, why. He breaks in, and it's all Carmine Falcone's people. And he arrests them all, claiming that they're all part of Batman. They're all affiliated or working with the Batman. And actually, one of the guys is on the phone talking to Carmine Falcone, saying, well, the police are here. I thought they were on our side. And he's like, they are. He's like, well, we're getting arrested. Lieutenant Bard takes the phone and says, it's all over, Falcone. This city doesn't belong to you. And he hangs up. Back at the police station, Commissioner Forbes is pissed. He's like, what's going on? Why? And Bard actually says, Batman went into the building. These are accomplices of the Batman. And Forbes is like, no, they're not. And let them go and let them out right now. And then Vicky's there. And before this, Lieutenant Bard is saying they had illegal weapons and narcotics. So they were holding enough of illegal weapons and narcotics for a gang war. And Vicky says, should I quote that you just said to let these dangerous people out into the street? And he's like, of course not. You misunderstood. And then Bard's like, shall I book him? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, book him. Red Robin's going to Japan. Why? Find out here. But Harper broke into the Red Robin's nest, which was awesome. Lieutenant Bard actually he somehow breaks into the phone. He hacks into the phone conversation between Commissioner Forbes and Carmine Falcone. And Vicky said her article will be up in an hour, so I have a feeling this is going to blow all of the stuff that's going on out into the open. We're only at issue 13, everybody. We have another 30-some-odd issues to go, if not more. And it just ends with that. And it ends with Cluemaster saying his daughter's going to come right for them. He basically burns down a house. It was crazy. This was a spectacular issue. I skipped over so much stuff, and there's a reason for that. You need to be reading this. For one hiccup and a couple of books that were it's finally picking up again. Batman Eternal is really good. It went back to where it should have been, focusing on Jim Gordon, focusing on Stephanie Brown, Batman, Commissioner Forbes, and Carmine Falcone, while still knowing in the background there's still something else we don't know yet. Thank you for the alarm. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. As the alarm says, don't forget to check out comic-related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Also, don't forget to comment below. Likes, dislikes, questions, comments. Do you agree or disagree with anything we have to say? Recommendations. We love all those comments, and your comments will be heard this Friday on the weekly comic book haul. Yep. So until then, we got Marvel coming up next. So until next time, everybody, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys really soon in the next review.
Later, everybody.
Take care, everybody.